What is What's up? Let's do this thing. Let's check our video studies here. There we go. Desktop audio was like really loud. Holy cow. There we go. Okay, hopefully that's not too loud for you guys. We'll obviously be figuring out audio stuff soon. Oh, I forgot to link everybody. Oh my gosh. Here we go. All right. We're gonna get everyone in here. Let's get the form set up so people can enter their deck for today. Copy this one. Alright. Cool. Now everyone can go to the Discord and submit their decks. Oh, there's so many people here. I didn't even notice. Gosh. Let me get my chat up. That way I can actually read chat. It's probably a little schmert. You know, just a thought. There we go. Awesome. There we go. Let me add my chat so I can see you guys. There we go. Awesome. Oh boy. It is PK? Awesome. Beeps like Teen Spirit. What's up, Valeroni? How's it going? First like, baby. Can you guys hear me? Do I sound bad?
Do we sound a little better, chat? Is that a little better?
How we feeling that? Do we sound a little better now? Is the audio a little clearer? There's a delay? On my mic? So you see me talk and then mic is ahead of the video. How about now? How about now? Did that change anything? Sorry. How about now? How about now? We doing better now? Huh? 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 We doing better? Is it clear? No delay? Is the first mic clear though? Does it sound nice and Oh, it's not as smooth though? Here, chat, I'm gonna listen to myself for a second. Here, I'm gonna listen to myself. We'll see how bad this sounds. Here, chat, I'm gonna listen to myself for a second. Here, I'm gonna listen to myself. Ooh, you're right. That's not as clear as normal. Ugh. Well, that's because we're not at my home computer today. That could be it. Yeah, I've got help. I purchased a deck from your website, sent you an email and a message on Patreon trying to follow up. Make sure you've seen it. I haven't heard anything back from you. Have you hit me up on Discord? That's normally where we get those things done. But do not worry. We have a new moderator that I'm paying to help that. So that should be solved as soon as possible. What email did you send from? Can you give me your email? Does this mic sound like bad? Do we sound like bad? Maybe a nice compressor helps. Did this make it better? Yeah. So I have a new mic setup coming to the studio here. Right now I'm just using USB until it gets here. Yeah, I'm just using USB until the new mic comes. Just a little quiet. Is that less quiet? Do we sound better now? Maybe there. Is that better? Little bit of gain. Better. Maybe there. A little better. Okay. Great. Okay. The new mic will be here hopefully by tomorrow. Hopefully by tomorrow. We'll see. If not, it'll definitely be here for next week's streams. But everybody, We have something important to go over today. As you can see, we're in the new office. We're in the new office. We can hit the Shinji in the corner, everybody. We can hit the hold on. At the right corner. Yeah, we can hit the old existential crisis. I'm loving it. Here's what's crazy. Everybody. We're not done with the camera angles. We're not even done. We will make this more insane. We will do it. The greed. We will continue to make this insane. I promise. Oh my gosh. How is everybody doing? How was your week? Gimme. What y'all been up to? What you been playing? Let's chat. Let's say hi. How's it going? What we doing? Huh? What's up? Give me the deets. What's the word on the street? Ooh, work from home. Nuns with guns. We like that. I love to hear that. Because if y'all ain't got nothing to chat about, y'all, I got some words to say. I'll give y'all a little bit. I want to hear from y'all. Why are there packs in my office? There's not supposed to be a pack. What? Oh, one of these is a fake booster box, and one is real. The top one's fake. The bottom one's real, though. Hybrid schedule. Yeah. My wife does a hybrid schedule. She's Monday at home, Friday at home, and then Tuesday through Thursday at the office. So, I understand. I know the blight, as it were. What do we think about this lighting, by the way? I like it. I got new matte lighting with like a little bit of shadow casting. It's not too bad. I'm digging it. Where can you find our Discord link? It is available to every patron. It's on the Patreon. But if you can, just give me your email and I can get back to you. But yeah, it's the Discord is through the Patreon. It should link to your Discord account. Whatever Discord account you have associated with your Patreon. No, I get, dude, I'm in a standard. I get it. I like standard. I used to be a standard grinder. Okay, but it's time for me to tell you a little bit. I got some words to say, chat. So, Magic the Gathering obviously be going through a little growing pains, if it were, right? Right? Earthbending Nursey. I like me some earthbending. It's very fun. Anything with lands is a good time. It's a good time. So, let's be real. Everybody, who here played in the pre-release? Who played the new Marvel set, right? It's the growing pains are as follows, right? Magic is, one, getting a lot of new sets every year. Standard has currently triple the amount of cards it did back when I played in it. Triple! That is nuts! We used to have, at most, 7 to 8 sets at once. Now we have up to 14 to 15 in Standard at once. Like, or sorry, 14 to 15 if it was 2-year. Since it's 3-year, it's up to 20 to 21. So triple. I can do math, I promise. So that's one of the growing pains, right? There's also the idea that, like, hey, we're not really developing original Magic story as much anymore. Like, we all loved Dragonstorm, right? Amen. We loved Dragonstorm. It was awesome. Yeah, exactly. What's up, Zenitharu? How you doing? What's up, Ethan? And so, not only are we going through the growing pains of there just being a lot of cards, there's a lot of legendaries. Like, a lot of legendaries, right? There's an insane amount of new commanders all the time. There is no more being in the know with Magic. You would have to play an insane amount of Magic in order to keep up constantly with the amount of new decks that are out there. Like, in just an like, no one's going to know all the commanders. You just won't. You'd have to be unbelievably, this is your only hobby, the only thing you do, one-dimensional kind of person, right? Like, you'd have to have no other interests. No, the deck building queue will be finished by next Tuesday. We'll be completely done. Every single deck will have been given out. And then we're going to do a cleanup week where I make sure that anyone who's missed a deck gets theirs. If for some reason someone didn't receive theirs and we got to find it for them, because they've all been built, it's just making sure it's in everyone's hands. So that's what we've been cleaning up. I know, like, Sir Trekkie has 2 decks that we haven't tracked down. They've been made. We just got to get it to him. So that's what this week is all about, is making sure all that gets finished. Awesome. Great. Thank you, normalish person. We'll get that. We got you put down here on my queue. Gotcha. Yeah, if you're waiting on a deck, it will be here by next Tuesday, and if not, you're getting either a refund or we're making sure we track it down wherever the heck it is, because it should be here already. Yeah, it was mostly due to screw-ups with the website after we had to move on from our original developer. A long story there. So, as we were talking about, y'all, Magic going through all these growing pains, a lot of things are changing, right? When I started this channel, y'all, it was when Final Fantasy released. When Final Fantasy dropped, I started this channel, like the Magic part of this channel. And we were instantly soaring through, and I went through every single main legendary that had like a pretty high power level for the most part in that set. And we still didn't even get through half of them. It's like crazy. Absolutely, Zenitharu. It was wild. Nowadays, there's no way I could do that. I could no way do that set. Would newer things be in the backlog also be addressed and or not? I don't know. The oldest deck that isn't done is one from March, and it's the very end of March, and it's a single deck. Everything else after that was either late April or early May or later that is getting sent to people. And then if it's before that, that means we just need to get it to you. It's finished. It's somewhere on the website or in the Mox field, which has hundreds of deck, and it's been improperly input. And we just got to get it for you. We just got to look through everything. That's all. So sorry, it's really scrambled my train of thought. Right. So what can I do as a full-time Magic creator to make sure I'm actively making decks that are interesting and not just, hey, it's new, because there's too many to sift through, right? So we're going to be streaming here 3 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, for 4 hours. And we're going to be going through all the decks that I make. There's going to be a lot of, commanders built within that time, right? No problem, Duns of the Guns. There's a lot we go through, right? Right? So riddle me this. What if someone in the community said, I'm going to make a deck for every single commander that exists? Literally all of them. Would you guys consider that possible? Would you consider that something that someone can actively actually do, right? Because think about it. How many legendaries came out in Marvel? Let's see here. Exactly. There were Wait. What? That's not real. Wait. This has to be... That can't be true. Hold on. This number is actually scaring me. There's... No. No. Between the main set, the jumpstart set, the commander decks, and the intro project or products, they are introducing 350 new legendaries. There are 350 new legendaries with Marvel. Between the main set, the jumpstart set, and the commander decks and the intro products. 350. So, let's say someone said, I'm going to make a deck for every single legendary commander. Oh, that's awesome, WikiWing. Good to hear you got your Gen Con badge. That's awesome. Congrats. Technically speaking, this means that the person who would like to do this, for Marvel Rivals, for example, has exactly 5.5 weeks. Or sorry, technically speaking, 8 weeks to do it, but before the next set drops. There's only 8 weeks in between the sets. 8. And that's not including any, like, unique legendaries from Secret Lair that drops, guys. Only 8 weeks. That means a day. This person would have to make 40... That's not right. I did divide it by 8, not 8 weeks. I was like 43 a day. That's not right. They'd have to make 6.5 decks a day almost. So, that's... No one's gonna make good decks making 6.5 decks every single day, including Sunday, by the way, the day of rest. Which I ain't doing that. I ain't working on Sundays. That ain't happening ever. God bless. Yeah, it'd be insane. It would be insane. So, that being said, it is impossible for one person, realistically, in a healthy way, and actually make good decks, to make a deck for every single legendary creature that comes out. Right? Unless the person's actually... That's just their full-time job. That's all they do. They don't even stream or make videos. They're just the one making the decks while someone else makes the content. I have a plan. I have an absolutely insane plan for this. But long story short, I truly believe that I'm going to be able to make something worth curating, in a sense, all of the unique commanders, like genuinely unique ones, and making sure I've built a deck for all of them at some point. And we'll do a checklist. It'll involve all the decks you guys asked me to create, plus some that I'll make on my own. But effectively, there are some commanders that do the exact same thing within the exact same colors. And my way to scrub that list manually, not with AI, because obviously it'll mess up, manually, I believe I'll be able to curate all the actual commanders that are out there. Like ones that have like meaningful changes, not just, oh, a subtype change or something like that. So I'm looking into this project. I've been working on it for a little bit, but I believe at some point I'll be able to make a purely curated by hand, really good vault of these types of commanders. So that's my hope. That's my hope. Been cooking on it for a bit. But all that being said, chat, it is time. It is time for us to get into our stream. If you guys are on the Patreon, please go to the Discord right now and check the main announcement. You can put your deck list in to be reviewed today, right now on the channel. Please go to that and we will get to it. Tomorrow is the paid roasts you guys have on the website. We're going to be going over all the deck roasts tomorrow. And then for now, we'll just be checking out decks that you guys got created by me. So if you can't go, if you've gotten a deck made by me and you want it reviewed, go check right now on the Patreon Discord and let's get started. We got 3 already put in, one from Sir Trekkie, one is Hypnotic, and one is Warchild. Let's get to these new decks for today. Let's do it. Let's start off with Warchild. Okay, Sir Trekkie. See you next week, brother. Yeah, Sir Trekkie, we can make sure that happens by next Tuesday for sure. We want to make sure everyone is ready to go by next Tuesday at the latest. Hopefully before the end of the week. All we gotta do is sit down with the mod team and take some time on it. Awesome Nuns with Guns, thank you. All right, here we go, guys. Let's get into today's stream. It's time. What say you? King of Oathbreakers. Okay, we're getting a little Orzhov action in early today. Let's see how this goes. So, we're already starting off. We got a Delany, which, by a show of hands in the chat, should Delany be a game changer? I've heard arguments for this before. Any thoughts on that? I've heard a lot of people talk about it, but like, I could see it. I could see an argument for it. I could see an argument for it. You know? I feel like I could understand if people would like it to be a game changer, is all I mean by that. You know? Let's condense our chat here a little bit. There we go. But yeah, I could see people wanting Delany to be a game changer, which, funny enough, this deck does only have 2 game changers in it, so it kind of works out, you know? It's future-proofing the deck, I guess. Cryptghast, awesome. We're going to be tapping our Swampies for double. Divinity of Pride. Okay. I like it. This is very chill. Just looking at this first 8 so far, this is somewhat no. Oh, we got a drum beller. Okay. We're looking into shenanigans now. The commander is King of Oathbreakers. So, whenever King of Oathbreakers or another spirit you control faces in, create a tapped 1/1 spirit creature. Obviously, we're going full out Spirit Kindred here. Oh, wow. Okay. We really just Scryfall, search Spirit, and then pulled the best ones. It's the way to do it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, baby. Myojin of Bloom and Dawn. Let's get it. Okay, that's a small sorcery package. I'm interested to see. So we're at only 23 creatures with only 4 sorceries. I feel like we're going to be doing a lot of funky stuff here with the rest of this. We got Damn for our destruction. We got Night's Whisper. Okay. Alongside Sign and Blood. That's hype. Good card draw. We got Dark Ritual to get things out early. Agile Dismissal. 17 instants. Okay, so this is where we're starting to put a little bit more of the meat of the deck. That makes sense. Yeah, we're doing everything we can to flicker here to make sure we trigger our commander without blue being available to us. Makes sense. Okay, okay, okay. We're rocking the coat of arms, but we're also rocking very notably the skull clamp. Fun, fun. A lot of drawing, so we're gonna go for a more overwhelming card draw strategy. I like that. Other ways to make spirits. There we go. There's the enchantments. Okay, Anointed Procession, Caretaker's Talent. Yep, yep. Smothering Tithe. There we go. Intangible Virtue. High key, an insane card for 2 mana. Creature tokens, yeah, plus and vigilance. Yeah, Flicker Butt with phasing. Oh, okay, pulling out the moat. Pulling out the moat. Okay. Okay. What's a budget? I love proxying. Pretty normal. Orza. Okay. So this is like basically the minimum amount of spirits I'd have in a deck that really wants spirits. Like any less than this and I'd be a little worried. I think you can definitely benefit here from adding some shapeshifters that do really good things. I love the 1 mana black shapeshifter from Modern Horizons 1 that has unblockable. Changeling Outcast. Definitely suggest that. I feel like unless you get a little bit lucky, you're going to run into some minor mana issues. You do have your signets and your talismans and everything, so it's not far off, and you got good card draw. Right now, this deck definitely has no glaring issues. You know what I mean? Like, this was well-built, well-researched, well-rounded, I would say. Warchild. Where I think I'm not seeing right now is the personality in it. And if that makes sense, like right now, this feels like you have a good head on your shoulders. You know not to put all of your eggs in one basket. You are properly adding in card draw, removal, some evasion. You've got good backup plans. And okay. Little rant. Commander originally, when it started, was a break from organized play. It was where we went to pull in the draft chaff, have the fun. And this deck feels like it was built solely by someone that is coming at Commander from that like standard or modern mindset. And it doesn't have anything that I would consider to be the spirit of Commander in a way. It's extremely well built in the way a precon is. But what I don't see in this list is something that when you cast that card, when you draw it on turn 7, it makes you giggle. It's funny. Like okay, exactly this expression. Okay, right? Okay, I got some cards right here. Hold on. Ready? You know, you got your deck, right? You're like, please something good, right? You need it. And then you're sitting there, right? You got your deck. You're like, la 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 la. Oh man, I really, what could change this game up? What could be a little more interesting, right? And then just, you know that little, that you know, I need a little of that. I need a little of that. So let's talk about, how does someone find that? How does someone gain the, I need a second. I'm sorry. All right, I'm good. I promise. How does one gain that? Because in the past, fellas, ladies and gents, it used to be doing this. It used to be doing that, right? And it was just a generic, powerful, awesome thing. It just felt good, right? Or, a little, you know, a dockside or something. You know, it used to be something like that. But these days, now that Wizards of the Coast owns Commander, they make all these cards that are just... they're just good. You know? They're just good. You know? Everything in this list is really good. It's really good. You know? Mondrak, Odgertak, really freaking good. Really, really powerful. Skyclave Apparition was an absolute Hail Mary card and, like, disrupted formats. Like, all these cards are great cards. But, sir, may I interest you in a 5-mana black sorcery that says take an extra turn, or your opponents lose half their life to make you not take the extra turn? May I interest you, good sir, in a card that lets you draw, but you lose half your life? Sir, may I interest you in Yawgmoth? Sacrifice your creatures, put -1/-1 counters on your opponents, and when they die, draw some cards. Something that dare I say changes the game. You know, a little game changer. And someone recently spoke on this very well. The fact that playing Commander feels fun when you get to play a card and everyone's just like, oh, you know, just the groan hits. People are annoyed, they're a little tired, they're a little, you know, a little frustrated with you. Let's take something for example here. Let's get back to the old here. The only thing in this deck that's doing that for me right now on a short level is Coat of Arms. Coat of Arms gives you that moment of like, hey, I did something a little fancy, you know, I amassed an army of 1/1 spirits, and now they're big boys, they're big goons, you know, little slip slap turned into a bang bang. You know, it's a little more exciting. And then we also have Intangible Virtue, and those are strong, powerful things that do a synergy that's interesting alongside something that you're uniquely building in your deck. Moonshaker Cavalry, like you said, there you go. Good idea. You're thinking the right direction. These are what we used to consider draft chaff bombs, but Wizards went out of their way to say, hey, let's make something better than draft chaff, a total bomb, and make it for Commander. And that's what these things are. And Delany, again, same thing. You know, Odgertak, Mondrak, really fun. Really, really, really fun. But is it something that hits the floor and everyone's like, what do we do? Or do they just go, yep, that makes sense. That's what that deck does. Dang. And so I would suggest, good sir, Ink Shield. What's up, Goku Dragonar? How you doing? I would suggest something like Ink Shield. Out of nowhere, you know, you're sitting there, you know, the everything's going wild. You know, you're fighting, you're going back and forth. Dan's over here, you're over there, I'm over here. And then, like, as we're like slapping around, out of nowhere, someone's throwing you a big haymaker, right? Ink Shield, baby. I now have 21 ones, or 1/2s, whatever Ink Shield makes. And that fits in theme with your deck because you have a lot of token stuff. It would be great. And so having something that's oddball, large, fun to draw late game, I like to add at least 3 or 4 of those things in my deck that are a little outside the realm that people would normally expect from my deck. Not that I would not expect Ink Shield from this deck per se, but I would definitely look into cards that make you giggle, make you laugh, make you have fun. But this deck is very well built. I just think it lacks the spirit of Commander, as it were. The thing that I think I as now an old head within Magic, I have to represent. You know, take this for example. These magazines right here, they're from the original Duelist magazine, right? For Magic the Gathering, back at, in Japan, right? These things depict heavy fantasy, really interesting stories and excitement within something, bigger than itself. Another example of that was sitting on my desk over here. If you guys have ever read the Dungeons and Dragons novels, right? It took a game that was already interesting enough as it is, and it added something grand, fun. It lets you sit in something you really enjoy and nerd out. Like, you don't need to be timid about it, kind of thing. And that's what I think I love about it. That's where I am with that. That's where I am. Yeah. 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 There you go. I think I got it all out. I think I said everything I needed to. But yeah, I love it. I would definitely look into having more of that Spirit of Commander, big things. But this is such a solid foundation. You did a great job with this, and I think it is seriously the most solid start to a deck I could see possible, and probably the most solid one we've seen on this channel in a while. So if you guys want your deck reviewed, make sure to go over to the Patreon Discord. You can enter your deck there in the little stream thing on the announcement, and we'll get to yours. But we're going on to the next deck, and this one is for Sir Trekkie. Oh, who is asking for decks to be reviewed, and once it's reviewed, once they're available, we will get to that on Tuesday. Sir Trekkie and Hypnotic. Let's see. This is a Zuko, Firelord Zuko deck. You will not be roasted. We do not roast here. We won't. Yeah, no, don't worry, dog. No, we're not meanie heads over here. Trust me, no one here has any malice in their bones in this channel. We are here to have fun. Let me fix my crop here on my card so we can actually read it. There we go. Sweet. Firelord Zuko. So we are looking at a Mardu list. Everybody, let's get our Mardu bats out. We are about to start swinging hard with absolutely no expectation of retaliation, because all we do is burn, kill, and steal. I'm kidding. That is not Mardu we were talking about. We were just talking about Grixis, because that's Blue's thing. Mardu. Oh, Mardu. It gives us a flavor. Everyone, remind yourself you have a tongue for a moment. It's a flavor we're after. This is a palate that we must fully engulf ourselves in for a moment. Firebending X. That means when we attack, we make red mana. Okay? There's a little chili in this flavor now. A little salsa. And then whenever you cast a spell from exile, a little white in there now. So now, a little sour cream, it's we're getting a burrito kind of taste going on here now. And then whenever a permanent you control enters from exile, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. It tastes like it should be green, but we're going to say it's black because Mardu. So we got some black beans in there, We're getting to the meat of this. So let's get into the meat of this deck. Let's get... We're the bit's done with the burrito. We're going to move on and start reviewing the deck now. We're done with the burrito bit. I didn't like that. Yes, Chani. Yes, the lands video. Oh, I'm excited to make that one. Okay, first off, peak art. Let's just take a second. Imperial Recruiter, Judge promo. One of my favorite arts in the entire game. I freaking love this card. It is gorgeous. I love it. So, Firelord Ozai, really good inclusion here. Really like it. I wanted Zuko, but as a flash attack trigger, yes. And that is why we play Firelord Azula right there for that reason. So, Firelord Ozai was a card everyone was really excited about, and ended up only being $1 as a regular card, $5 foil. Not too bad, you know? People were pretty interested in it, but the hype kind of died at some point. But either way, it is a very good card. So, exile the top card of each opponent's library. Until end of turn, you may play one of those cards without paying its mana cost. That is insane in the deck. With Firebending, everybody, read that really well. Read that real close. That does not say at sorcery speed. You can do that effect at any moment. That card is Spirit of Commander that we were talking about last time. It takes 10 mana. 10 mana to do that. But if you draw this late game, you've built up a ton of resources, you are going to be doing a lot of Firebending. Peak card. Absolute peak. It's awesome. So much fun. I don't know if y'all have ever stolen a Coma the Cosmos Serpent with Firelord Ozai. I have. It's really fun. It's pretty great. You should do it. But Ozai, honestly, works best in the 99. It works as a fun flavor win bomb, in my opinion. It does really well there. We're doing a good job of keeping up with the plus and counters part of this build, keeping our creatures healthy. We have Hopeful Initiate. In late game combat, it gets like 2 to 3 triggers exactly. It's so good. So good. Party Thrasher, solid. I don't know if you guys have seen this card much. It's really strong. Non-creature spells you cast from exile have Convoke. That is a way... Convoke is so strong. Like, there's so many cards in this game that Convoke makes so cracked. Oh, heck yeah. Heck yes. Prosper Tomebound. All-star in a deck like this. Absolutely incredible commander on top of that, even if you're not playing him in the 99. Valky, God of Lies, is disgusting, and in fact, I've seen people play him in CDH decks as a way to take things out of people's hands. It's pretty nasty. There's one thing I would definitely change. Electro, I would suggest changing it to Birgi. And or adding Birgi. I would say that would be a better exchange there. Yeah, Birgi, God of Storytelling. Because then you get to go into the exiling thing. Because Birgi's backside of her card, the horn, allows you to discard a card and exile 2 cards off the top of your library. And then you can cast them till end of turn. It goes really, really, really well. So I think Birgi might go better there than Electro. And then Sozin's Comet, each creature you control gains Firebending 5 till end of turn. I love this card. And again, it's one of those cards that I feel like I'm a little shocked is expensive, because it really is kind of a Hail Mary fun card. But it has so many ways to go bonkers, and there's so many mana sinks that it makes sense that it's, you know, as expensive it is. Improvised Capstone. Okay, first off, I just pulled one of these on accident right before we started stream. I was filming a pack opening. So there's so many things that can go right with this spell that I almost want to build a deck around casting it. It says exile cards from the top of your library until you exile cards with total mana value 4 or greater. You may cast any number of spells from among them without paying their mana cost. I think it would be so funny to run a Cheerios deck with this card and then cast your entire library. Like somehow have an entire deck where the total CMC is like 7 or something. So you cast like half your deck with this card. And then everything is a bunch of like 0 mana rock, crazy stuff. Like that would be so funny. Or like, and then like the last card is a card that like says like destroy all of your artifacts, deal that much damage to your opponents. Like there's a deck out there where this is like the sauce. I don't know. I need to see it. But very good card. And the reason it's really good is because it has Paradigm. It says you exile the spell, and then after you first resolve the spell with its name, you may cast a copy from exile without paying its mana cost at the beginning of each of your main phases. Paradigm is cracked. I need you to understand that right now. Paradigm is insane. It is actually an old thing. Did you guys know that Paradigm is actually a parody of an old Magic keyword? Who knew that? It's from 2007. Can anyone guess? Does anyone know where Paradigm's from? It's an update of a very old mechanic, and they made it way better. Epic. Exactly, Otter Pirate. There used to be, just like this, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana cards that had this thing called Epic. And when you cast it, it says you can't cast spells for the rest of the game, but it does continually cast on your upkeep every turn. Paradigm is literally all the upside and no downside of that. It's so cracked. And that's because they recognize that Epic was properly utilized for casual play, but in Commander, or not casual, sorry, 60 card play, it would be broken in 60 card. But in Commander, it's not. Well, they went, hey, we don't care how this affects 60 card anymore, because now this effect isn't broken because 60 card is sped up, so this effect really isn't as good as it used to be. So it doesn't need a downside because it doesn't even beat out the cards that are popular right now. So they let the Commander players get to run wild now with better Epic, which is really cool. So there's a little rant for you guys. I hope you enjoyed that. I know I did. I like talking about it. Which everybody, let's little sip time, little sippy boys. Duke. All right, let's get back into this. What do we got? Good old J Will. I really enjoy this, the Final Fantasy arts. I like your Toxic Deluge arch choice. Nice. Deadly Rollick. See, this is what we like around here, y'all. At DefCat MTG, we like seeing people care about their card arts. Thank you for going through this deck before you sent it to me and changing the arts to arts you like. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you. I have to look at cards all day. All day. It's really nice. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So, we got Flawless Maneuver. Needed. Laughing Mad. I understand you probably like Final Fantasy. That's probably why you chose this card. It is worse than basically almost all the other cards of this style because it's 1 mana more, but it does have Flashback, which is good for this deck because, you may cast it from the graveyard, but it's not from exile. You just exile it afterwards, so yeah. I think you should replace Laughing Mad with Will of the Jeskai. I think you'd enjoy that more in this deck. You can recast all your stuff from your graveyard, and you get to do cool stuff with your commander. Might be a little better. Okay. Yeah, this art's sick. Yeah, this deck's pretty. That's why it's $2.5 grand. Okay. Vid Alcanori. Solid. We're getting the flash going. Okay. So this deck is a flavor win and a half. It is everything a deck someone cares about should be. Chosen arts, proper art congruency, really little to no exceptions on making sure this deck wasn't absolutely tatted up. Right? Yeah, grab a prize, nice. I think the only thing I would like to see, if you're interested in this, Nuns with Guns, the deck credits refresh tomorrow. Should be the first of every month. I almost forgot what day it was. I think right now, what I'm not seeing in this list, well, there's actually 2 things. So, realistically right now, the deck wins by having an overwhelming bounty of good cards and or a couple strong large plays like Fire, Lord, and or a massive Jessica's will pop off big attack by having a lot of resources to attack in with. I think the one thing that it's missing, because we have the Ozolith that allows us to keep our +1/+1 counters that we're constantly making. Because, like, technically speaking, you could grab an enchantment that helps with your +1/+1 counters and all that. I get that. I think you need something just straight up evil. Like, you need the, like, out of nowhere. Like, I have a card in mind. Hatred. Hey, life. Creature gets X plus X, where X is the amount of life spent. I think the deck because it's Mardu, and right now this doesn't feel like Mardu. This feels like red, white, green, not red, white, black. And I think as well as that, I think you could run a Hate Bearer or two, like Dothy Voidwalker, which will allow you, again, to cast a card from exile through Dothy. So, just saying, it also works with the exiling thing. I think Dothy Voidwalker would be sick. Hatred. Some things that let the deck breathe the fact that it is in black. You know? Outside of, you know, it being in, you know, red and white, it feels like it's a wannabe green-white deck due to things, and it's not living into what black could provide for this list. And so I think definitely adding Birgi, definitely looking into some black cards, and that really like kind of pump things up. And then outside of that, I think the Wand of Wonder is a really good direction to go, where each opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile an instant or sorcery, then shuffles the rest of their library. More Ragavan style stuff. You know, Wand of Wonder, Ragavan, kind of go hard. Don Domo, thank you so much. I'm glad you like the CDH lands list. Very glad. I got a lot more decks coming out very soon. We've been working really hard here over at the studio. But yeah, that's the only thing I would say to this list. It needs to live into more of its black color identity a little harder. Right now, I think it's trying to play fake white, red, green, and that leaves a little bit to be desired, in my opinion. But solid list again. I'm really impressed. You guys, when I started streaming, lists weren't this good. It was rough. Like, this is serious improvement from the community. Like, you guys are, you're gassing me up. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, what do we got next? And again, if you guys want to get your deck reviewed, you guys want to be on stream today, head on over to the Patreon, put your deck into the announcement. There is a little sheet so we can look at your decks for you. We're going to look at Wiki Wing here next. And also, if you don't have a deck for me to be reviewed, what are you doing? You got a deck for me, mate. Go to the Patreon. So, Wiki, are you here? Because I'm pretty sure we're going to be talking about what I think we're talking about with this list. Am I wrong? Are we just reviewing? Are we just going over? Don't you dare feel bad, Valeroni. Don't you dare feel bad. You have done so much to this channel. Everyone, give a little thank you to Valeroni. Can we all give Valeroni a little thank you? A little love you, bud. Big channel member guy over here. Can we all give him a great guy? Wiki, I can what? I can ignore what? Are we doing what we... Are we talking about what I think we're talking about with this one, Ricky? Are we trying to make this thing a little more than just bracket 3 right now? Hmm? What's our quest here? So we're trying to bump this one up. Are we thinking bracket 4? We thinking bracket 5? What are we smelling here? What's in the water? Hmm? What's our thought? Okay. So let's be a little complacent for a second. And by that, I think it's time for a pack break before I talk about this deck, because I got a lot to say. Time for a pack break, y'all. Everyone ready? Everyone ready for a little pack break? Little packy pack? All right. Here we go, chat. Is everybody ready? Ooh. Let's get it right. There we go. It's okay. Let's get that perfect. There we go. Okay, it's okay. Good card. Good card. Don't mind. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Oh, that means we're probably gonna see an extra rare. Here we go. Oh, Charm. I like me some Quandrix Charm. Oh, no extra rare. But dual attacks. Good card. Good card. Oh, yeah. Ooh, I do like this card. Planar Engineering is pretty hype. Sacrifice 2 lands. Search your library for 4 basics. Pretty good. It's pretty dang good. Y'all know we all love our landfall around here. This is a pretty good card. What do we got next? Helping Hand. That little uncommon boy there. Last but not least, what's our foil? Ooh, pretty. I get a lot of those in the foil slot. I don't know why. I think I've gotten a solid amount of these page loose leaf foils. Strange. Pretty card though. Reminds me of Seb McKinnon art. Really does. Let's put our That's a fun little pack break. Fun little pack break. Okay, y'all. Let's do it. So, Terra Magical Adept. When Terra enters, mill 5 cards. Put one of the enchantment cards milled this way into your hand. And then you can do the fun Terra thing of exiling, returning her to the battlefield transformed. And for CDH lists, that normally means doing this infinitely. So that way you can go do infinite mana and then eventually infinite triggers for something like Impact Tremors. And then Impact Tremors will infinitely trigger and we'll win the game. That's great. That's what this deck does. This is what it's supposed to do. And then we also have so many ways to maximize things like QR Best the Sea God, make a bunch of creatures, use Eldritch Reborn, making people sack their creatures, Kami War, transform, go crazy. But in bracket 3, what you normally see in this list is what we're looking at here, which is crazy awesome fun saga movement. That's a lot of fun. There's a lot of ways to make these sagas either trigger faster, have more triggers go on the stack, all that. And so the first thing we're going to do, because this is in fact a Wooburg commander to the backside, is we're going to want to add a more fun flavor and push this into bracket 3 a little harder, in the sense that we're going to be going over a more in-depth understanding of what it means to maximize fun out of an enchantment, rather than maximize its value. So, Tom Bombadil, obviously, it's in the name. He's a bomb. He's fun. Whenever a saga finishes, you exile cards off top of your library until you find another enchantment, specifically saga, and then you get to play that saga. So we would lean a little bit more into that, as well as card draw, like Sithis. So we'd want to do ETB/cast enchantment card draw You can scryfall that really easy. And then we would definitely want to add Tom Bombadil. And then what we'd change a little bit, and this is a personal choice here. I really like this. The enchantment Ripples of Undeath, which will put 3 cards into your graveyard as a mill at the beginning of your first main phase, and then you can pay 1 generic mana and 3 life to put a card into your hand. It basically doubles up on what Tara's doing with her ETB. And then next, what would really make this more fun, more goofy, less, striving exactly to get that combo, is Displacer Kitten. But if we're gonna be playing Displacer Kitten, we want to be able to find Displacer Kitten 1, and on top of being able to find Displacer Kitten, we really want to be casting more instant and sorceries. And right now, as you can see, we're very light on that. There's only 14. We do have a lot of enchantments. We have only 4 artifacts. So we would be replacing our non-enchantment creatures, such as the mana dorks, with these. So the deck would be a little bit slower, but it'd be a little bit more goofy. So we'd effectively be replacing the mana dorks that don't make as many colors. So we would be taking out Boreal Druid, for example, or Blood Pet. And we would be replacing it with more instant and sorceries that are card draw based. So that would be, Sign in Blood, Deadly Dispute, and then more artifacts. So that way we have more non-creature casts like the Signets. And then last but not least, like we said, a way to find our Displacer Kitten, because now we're a more creature-focused deck. We're going to be using Worldly Tutor, which I don't think we're running right now. Yeah, we're not. Worldly Tutor. We already have Sylvan Tutor, thankfully. As well as Imperial Recruiter. Does casting the spell... I'm assuming casting the spell does work and flicker the Displacer Kitten, correct? From the Seething Song creature, because that's infinite mana right there. Because that would also be an infinite ETB. Okay, great. That's what I thought, yeah. So the new Seething Song creature from Strixhaven, you would use that, and then it would combo with your already really good Impact Tremors and allow you to win. So it's a second outlet as well for Impact Tremors with infinite mana. I agree with that. So yeah, you would slow the deck down just a little bit, so you'd kind of be a little bit more of an underdog at the beginning of the game, but then you'd add more fun to the list. Yeah, because as much as everyone wants to play a deck, like here, let's feed in the game design just for a little bit here. Realistically, y'all, when we're playing Commander, you do have to choose whether or not you want a deck that will never brick or a deck that has a little bit more fun, and then find where on that scale you want to land. I always land in Hail Mary zone, where I love having stuff that if it goes right, it's going to be awesome. Like, I'm going to have the night of my life. Like, it will be the thing I talk about the rest of the week, That's what I show up to FNM for. When I'm playing with my friends, I'm there to go, oh my gosh, that was the funniest thing ever. Right? And then leave after, a couple games and like one of them just absolutely popped off. That's the realm I normally live in. And so I'll normally bend you guys toward that as a choice. A little more. Just a little more. But yeah, thank you, WikiWing. I'm glad you brought this deck back up. I'm glad we got to look at it. Thank you very much. Let's see whose deck is next. We got another one from WikiWing. Let's check it out. Remember, you guys going to get your deck seen today, go on over to the Patreon Discord. Celeste Mardumani CDH. This is a list I created a year ago that has been updated, it seems. Solid. Your CDH list. And then you wanted to add Doomsday. Is that correct? Is that what we're talking about today? You submitted your clones list. Nice. Solid. Solid. Okay. So let's talk about Doomsday the card for a second, everybody. Let's just pull this up. Let's pull this up. Because I love this card, like, dearly. Okay. So Doomsday. Right? We've got, oh dear God. There we go. Doomsday. All right. I really need to re-outfit my stream so you guys can see things properly. But we'll do that. All right. We got Doomsday here. So, wait. Oh, you guys can't see when I pop something out like that. Okay. This is fine. Doomsday says, search your library graveyard for 5 cards, exile the rest. Put the chosen cards on top of your library in any order, and you lose half your life rounded up. This card is meant to be played as a Hail Mary to win. There are a billion Doomsday piles in the world. Most Doomsday piles have blue in it, and that is a really big part in what makes Doomsday really, really good. But what is interesting about Celeste is Celeste herself cracks it so you don't need blue. Celeste is in of itself the blue here in this scenario. It's the solve to the pile, because you need to be able to solve your Doomsday piles, as it were. So when Celeste enters, discard any number of cards, then draw that many cards plus 1. And then whenever one or more other creatures you control enter, if one or more of them entered from the graveyard or was cast from graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. So let's walk through how mana intensive this is about to be. 3 black mana. We got 3 black mana for Doomsday. Then we have a full Mardu plus generic we need. So that's 7 mana already. 7 mana is not hard in a CDH list. That's not bad. Especially when it's 4 of one pip and only 2 of other 2. You know? So, like, for example, you could have only 4 lands open. Right? And then all you need to cast is Cabal Ritual. And you're done. The other 2 lands tap for red and white. And then Cabal Ritual's 5 black. There you go. Cabal Ritual plus Doomsday on turn 4. You know, you can cast everything. So, you cast the Doomsday. We put our 5 cards into our mini library now, our Doomsday pile, as we call it. And then we cast Celeste, and we wheel. So, let's talk about what we want to wheel into. Lesser Masticore plus Blasting Station or Grinding Station will win the game. Or Murderous Redcap and anything that can sacrifice it will instantly win the game. So it's a really easy 2-card combo, but what we want to think about right now is, okay, cool, how do we get the mana for it? So let's say we don't use Dark Ritual or Cabal Ritual to cast Celeste. So it's genuinely hard casted with 7 mana. And then we wheel, let's say we at minimum have 4 cards in hand after Doomsday. Like the average time you cast Doomsday is 5 cards in hand. Let's just say that. So we're only going to see 4 cards from our Doomsday pile after we cast Celeste. We're going to want 2 cards that combo. That means Lesser Masticore, Murderous Redcap. It can be, you know, Blasting Station, Grinding Station, whatever. We already have a solve for exactly what we just said. So we can grab Mox Amber and either Dark Ritual or Calling the Weak or Cabal Ritual. And then if it's Cabal Ritual, obviously you need 1 more extra mana, so now it's an 8 mana combo instead of a 7 mana combo. And you would grab 1 free mana rock plus 1 ritual, and then you can cast Lesser Masticore and Grinding Station. Win the game. Mill your opponents out. The other solve for this would be to do a breach pile. But you're not running breach. I also don't think this deck needs breach. But, you know, oh, you are running breach. Sorry. I have not seen this art for breach. Technically we could run a breach pile as well. But I think that's less safe and harder considering we have no graveyard. Yeah. I'm thinking Doomsday really already works. I see enough solves in this list. It's just if this is how I think about this. If we want to put Doomsday into a list like this, you need to look at a game that you lost. Like, let's say it's like turn 5 or 6, you know? Turn 4, someone went for a win attempt, someone else stop it. Turn 5, everyone's rebuilding, you know. Here's the thing. Do you win with breach much, WikiWing? How often do you win with breach? How often is breach relevant in your games? Because if breach is like, okay, yeah, if breach is never relevant, take it out for Doomsday, 100%. 100%. Yeah. And then here's what's even better about Doomsday for a second, guys. Let's say what we want to cast, like Murderous Redcap, is already in our hands, but we need to Doomsday Celeste. Cast Doomsday, hit Celeste, discard your Murderous Redcap, and then within your pile, grab Animate Dead. Or just straight up reanimate. That'll work great. So, if it were me, I would take out Yogg's Will for Doomsday. I would take out Yogg's Will and put in Doomsday personally, because Breach is really good in a deck like this because it does have lines. But if you find yourself never using it, that's a deck preference thing. Take out the Breach instead. That's totally a valid thing. It's just that in some scenarios, Yogg's Will is just a worse Breach. I think in CDH, normally that's the case. In Bracket 4, Yogg's Will is normally better. But in CDH, normally we're going to like Breach over it. But obviously, this is a no blue list, so Breach isn't as relevant. So it's perfectly fine to take out Breach. No issue at all there. I think maybe taking out Tainted Pact, honestly, would be the better thing to do as well. And put in Doomsday because, again, you're not running Praetor's Grasp to go steal someone's Thassa's, right? Oh, you are? King, I was unfamiliar with your game. Okay. Yeah, that's tight. That's tight. I love to see it. You love to see it. That's great. Very good. Very good. Oh, man. I love Rite of Flame. The art's so good. Such a gorgeous card. Awesome, y'all. Okay, let's go to our next deck. For Warchild. Toxic Swarm. Ooh, okay. So Kami's Obscura Oculus. We are in an Esper list here. Whenever you attack, target attacking creature can't be blocked this turn. It connives. Then choose another attacking creature with lesser power. That creature gains double strike until end of turn. So let's stay relevant on this. What are we actually doing? Whenever you attack, target attacking creature can't be blocked this turn. Cool. We receive unblockable. Awesome. Jin Sakai and a couple other decks do that. What else does it do? It connives. Awesome. We're in Raffine territory now. We're in Reanimator territory now. We are in +1/+1 counter buildup territory now. But here's the biggest thing. If then choose another attacking creature with lesser power, that creature gains double strike until end of turn. This deck is all about picking, in my opinion, your commander, and one other creature you really like when you go, and you start becoming dynamic duo, like crazy shifting, in my opinion. Like that's where this deck falls. Delany is an awesome way to do this. Dothy is cracked in this list. I love that you have it. Esper Sentinel, insanely good. Giving power to him, obviously, is disgusting. You don't have it, do you? No! Where is your Ledger Shredder? Where is your Ledger Shredder? Ledger Shredder is so good in this list. Whenever anyone casts 2 spells, you get to discard and draw and put a +1/+1 counter on him if it was non-land. So good. So freaking good, dude. You got to get a Ledger Shredder in here. It's nasty. I would also put Raffine in here. Yeah, Ledger Shredder and Raffine deserve in this list. They are disgusting. So we're going for the Infect list. I respect. Very respect. Obviously, it's unblockable, so it makes Infect terrifying. Are we running much Proliferation? If we're doing that? Yep, we got the Proliferates. Solid. Even Tezzeret's Gambit. Nice. We're running the Fierce. We're running the Teferis. Okay. Oh, yeah, dude. I love this art. It's so old school weird where, like, it looks like a video game render the way they did the lighting, but it's genuinely a painting. It's nuts. Oh my gosh. We're doubling down on the unblockable with the Infect, Viresis. Okay. Huh. Wait a minute. Hold the phone. Hold. Let me confirm. Give me a second. That is a very low mana curve. Your average CMC is very low. It's 1.5. The average CMC in this list is 1.5. I think you need to add the Defilers. I think you should add these bad boys. Hold up. I think you should add Defiler. Almost all your deck is just pips, right? Now you can pay life and pay for the pips. And then when you cast it, you draw a card. So you can just keep grinding through your insanely low CMC deck. That'd be a pretty sick bomb for this list. And then Defiler of Flesh, whenever you cast a black permanent, they get +1/+1 and Menace. I think the Defilers would, like, absolutely kill it in this list, dog. Pretty sick. And it fits the whole toxic vibe because the Phyrexians. I think it'd be pretty cool. Oh gosh, yeah. The Metastic Evangel. Oh, dude. This is one of the coolest flavored cards in the game. Genuinely. And it kind of looks like it's Tron. You know what I mean? Just a little bit. As in Tron, as in... My bad. Obviously not Tron as in, like, Disney Tron. We're talking about the magic archetype based around the Silver Golem, Karn. It's kind of like a cool, slim Karn. I love it. Yeah, I think adding the defilers would make this cracked. And a ledger shredder, for sure. You have a rogue's passage? Yep, you got a rogue's passage. Good. Yep. Solid. Yeah, the defilers are super cheap. They're like 50 cents for a Fallout foil. Like, no one cares about those cards, and they're so good. Yeah. I like it. This deck must be really fun. I think you're having a good time. I think you're having a damn good time with this list. Oh, and Raffine. I think Raffine as well. Raffine Ledger Shredder. Love it, dude. I love it. If you want, technically speaking, you could put like a really fun Hail Mary card in this list and grab the reanimate all creatures in all graveyards and get them like up of Dark Realms, maybe. Gets you hard focus out of the game for the... Yeah, exactly. So I think to that point, PK, or Warchild, I honestly think, you know, that whole thing, you want to build up the list before people know that. So casting a Defiler beforehand and then getting to vomit your hand on the field and start getting poison counters going helps you out. Because I think a lot of people who play decks that get focused quickly will often be worried and go for the you'll kind of like default to, instead of figuring out how to play it to the point where you're not focused, they think they need cards to stop being focused. I'm more of a proponent that I think that as you go into a game, your opening hand can be less aggressive and think about how can I make the game plan explode later to be more successful rather than worrying about it hitting right now, like intensely. I think it'll help a lot. I think you'll be good to go. So I like less pillow fort cards and more cards that just build you rather than get you targeted. Maybe. That also depends on if you're playing the same play group. Like if you're playing at F&M, you're like playing with new people. What I just said makes sense. But if you're playing with the same friends every week, then no, that, you know, you're gonna need those pillow fort cards. You know, they know, you know. Thanks for sending another deck, PK. Appreciate you. Let's get into our last one submitted on the Patreon, and then we're going to go to paid reviews that I got on the website. Then, yeah, I would definitely keep those cards. Then, yeah, if it's the same group. Blameable. And Otter Pirate. Love it, love it, love it. An Orvar list. Okay. Let's peep. This is one of my favorite arts. For some reason, I just absolutely adore this art. I think it's one of the most gorgeous Magic cards. Freaking love it. Archaeomancer, hype. Very, what's that show called everyone loves? Cyberpunk. Oh, man. Good arts, good arts. Oh, I haven't seen that one yet. That one's cute. Miss Marvel. Okay. Yeah, baby. Sower of Temptation. Dude, I have the full art playmat of this to my right now. It's my favorite art ever. It oh my gosh. I've got a signed sketch version of this card on my wall to my right. I'll get another camera angle at some point. I know I don't have enough camera angles. We'll figure it out later. But yeah, so awesome. Love that art. And stunt double. Okay. Yes. Great card, great deep cut. I love energy tap. Fantastic choice. Okay. Frantic Surge, High Tide. Yep. Snap. Yep. The Twiddle. Love it. Such an old school card. Makes me happy. Okay. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a mono blue list, and if you were paying attention, there is in fact no Thasas and no Labter Maniac. You'll love to see it. Brings a tear to my eye. I believe I'm gonna be so honest with you guys right now. I'm gonna be so honest with you. So honest with you. Otter Pirate and Blanimal are two of the longest standing members of this Discord and Patreon that you're seeing decks reviewed from right now. You're here witnessing a masterclass display from our group right now. This deck's gonna be hard to say much about. But who would I be if I didn't have a comment? So I'm gonna get critical. So if you are getting your deck reviewed by me or getting a deck made by me, don't worry, I'm not gonna be this critical with you. All right, just you won't get treated like this. But I know these boys. They need a little, you know. Let's get critical. Let's get ethical. Clearly, we are doing all the right things by copying, especially the untapping lands for the actual Orvar combo. But getting a little critical. Let's talk about what does it mean to actually win this game. Orvar says whenever you cast an instant sorcery, if it targets one or more other permanents you control, create a token that's a copy of those permanents. It allows you to make an insane amount of copies of your lands. And then, eventually, you get to go do very nefarious and terrible acts to people with your lands. Now, on top of being able to do this, on top of having a clear game plan, on top of doing shenanigans with crazy copying spells, you do need to properly control the game. Because mono blue is not... See, look at that. I didn't even have to say anything. Everyone, check that chat. Check what Otter Pirate just said. Genius. I'm so proud of you. You knew it. You knew exactly what I was going to say. You knew exactly what I was going to say. It's a mono blue list. It's not going to outpace anybody. It has to be a control element. And so this list needs control elements that aren't counter spells. It needs stacks. It needs Tangle Wire. Genius. Very proud right now. Very proud. And this deck is not above playing a late game Trinisphere because it's going to out resource everybody else by an insane amount of land production. I wouldn't put Trinisphere in this because it does make the combo extremely difficult, but it is possible. The deck needs to slow the early game down so that way it gets to do shenanigans later, because this isn't the type of deck that starts doing well due to the fact that it's amassed resources. It just needs enough cards in hand and a few mana to get started to start doing the dirty shenanigans. So you just need a turn one slowdown effect. The next thing is, let's look at our artifacts here. We're running 1, 2, 3, 4, only 4 mana positive rocks in this list. I think for certain, Orvar is freaking 4 mana. And we only got 3 positive rocks. If you have enough legendaries in your regular creatures, which we don't, we could run an Amber. You know, a Mox Amber. But that's not really relevant in this list. I think the deck needs to run more than just Mind Stone. And probably needs to start deep cutting some of the worst rocks in the game in order to keep up. What's the chalice that you kick in order to make more mana? That might even be worth it. But it's only bracket 4, so where the mana is now is absolutely fine. Yeah. I think Chalice of the Void. Is it Chalice of the Void? Everflowing Chalice. No, I'm thinking of Everflowing Chalice. I meant the Mana Rock one, sorry. Yeah, Everflowing Chalice. But, to your point, Chalice of the Void is also a really good idea here. Put Chalice of the Void on 0 or like on like 2 and stop your opponents is not a terrible idea either. I think you can also make this list a little bit of a sneaky secret Urza. Could be pretty great as well. The only other card that I would suggest that you don't have in this list that I feel like is insane in this list is Dramatic Reversal. It untaps all non-land permanents. I think Dramatic Reversal would go hard in this list and help you push turns where you have a Coveted Jewel or you have a Mana Vault to go a lot farther. I would definitely suggest that. What do you guys think? Good old Dramatic Reversal up in here? I think that might be the right way. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sending that one in. Let's see, has anyone else submitted to the chart today? That's it. That is all the decks we've been sent today, y'all. Any more lands that I think would be insane for copying? In blue. Am I thinking of the right one? Academic Ruins technically does have a combo in this list that you can look up. Academic Ruins does have that. That is a thing. I think there's like combo where you put, I think it's, I can't remember the combo now. It's an artifact that would allow you to make infinite mana with it and then put it on top of your library and then keep going from there with a draw spell. I can't remember what though. But that might be interesting. That's the only one I can think of on the top of my head. The only other one I might say is if you go creatureless would be Tabernacle, but you're not creatureless, so. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We are officially out of decks to review today. And then tomorrow we're going to be back with the paid decks that we're going to be doing. So thank you so much for hopping in. Thank you for spending time with me today. This was a blast. And if you wanted to get a deck made by me, head on over to the Patreon. And I'll see y'all soon. God bless y'all. Thank you. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Thanks for stopping in today, guys. See ya.